It's time for the Chips and Salsa Show.
The only show about Latinos for Latinos. And did we mention Latinos?
It's latísima.
Latinos come in all flavors, shapes, and sizes. You don't have to be Latino to enjoy chips and salsa.
People love chips and salsa.
Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa Show. Today, Tuesday, the 29th, I believe. Yeah, the 29th. And joined here on the Chips and Salsa Show from Tempe, Arizona, is my good friend, Lara from New Mexico. And Zeke's running a little late, so he's going to join us a little late from New Mexico. But in studio, I'm very happy to have my friend.
We have Steve Robinson and Shelby Busch, the stars of our show.
Boy, I guess you get momentary lapse and stuff. Yeah, Shelby Busch, a good friend of mine, and chairman of the county, first vice chair of the county of Arizona, of Maricopa County of the GOP, and Steve Robinson is chairman of LD 22, our legislative district. And they're here, and we have a lot to talk about. It's going to be a great show. And Alice, you want to just mention a couple, just happy birthday to all, because we always have a happy birthday wish to all our chipsters out there. Everybody that had birthdays this week and last week, we wish them a happy birthday. Alice, I think you said one of your relatives or sisters.
Yeah, I'm in Las Cruces, New Mexico, live from Las Cruces, New Mexico. And one of the reasons, the main reason that I moved here, I have a bunch of family, Latino, Catholic, Mexican predominantly. But I want to wish a happy birthday to my cousin, Tommy Ceniceros. And we're just like, we grew up together and everything. And he's a great guy. So I want to wish him a happy birthday. And of course, like you said, George, everybody else that has birthdays close to this date, we want to wish happy birthday or anniversaries. You've got an anniversary too, because we want to celebrate that as well. And thank you so much, Chipsters, for joining in today and listening to our show, watching our show.
And if you know somebody who has a birthday, tell them the Chips and Salsa Show, wish them a happy birthday, and have them tune in to the Chips and Salsa Show. We're here on Tuesday, but we don't blast it out until Tuesday evening on YouTube and Facebook and all the other places that
Rumble too, right?
Rumble. Oh yeah, Rumble too. Yeah, Rumble is fairly new with us, but we're on Rumble now, and we're going to be on iHeartRadio and Spotify. So those two are coming up here shortly.
Oh, and George, we should also mention real quick. So Rumble, if you guys are on Rumble, please subscribe to our Rumble channel. It's Chips and Salsa. There's one for Arizona, and there's also a Chips and Salsa Show New Mexico. So we want to get those numbers up, and we're going to, that way you can easily get, because YouTube, they're really hard to deal with. They don't like conservatives.
Yeah, and YouTube and Facebook, sometimes they don't like what we say, and they'll punish us. We'll be on YouTube, Facebook jail or YouTube jail, or they'll just not show that particular article on YouTube. They censored us. The last time they had was what was it? The bikers for the Second Amendment. That was on the 17th.
Yeah.
And
you were out there. Yeah, you were out there at the rally, and I think you were interviewing a candidate.
Yeah,
boom, they just took it off.
He was talking about the election, so we'll probably get zoomed
Jeff
to
Zink, that's who it was. Jeff Zink.
But it was a good interview, and it was a long interview, and he just went to town, and it was good. I loved it.
And George, badge of honor for us. Yeah. Badge of honor.
And we're going to be, now that we mentioned it, we're going to be February the 17th at the Second Amendment rally. I just spoke to the guy 2 days ago. They're reserving our spot there, and they're going to have somebody from that organization on our show prior to the February the 2nd. But he reached out to me, and I said, yeah, of course we're going to be there. And we're going to be broadcasting live. We broadcast, must have been about 3 hours. We broadcast live from the show, and Eric did such a great job. And I wanted to mention Eric is our producer and director here, and so he makes this stuff happen. So thank you, Eric. Yeah, and And we have a web page now. It's www.chipsandsalsa.com. Chipsandsalsashow.com, and that's our page. And well, you can go to Facebook and see our page. So it's like we're everywhere. Okay, we're gonna go right into this. We're gonna be talking about what's happening with the ballots in here in Phoenix, and who better to talk about it than my friend Shelby Busch. I got it right this time.
Thank you,
Shelby.
George. No problem. It's hot out there, you know.
Yeah.
These
I blame
things.
it on the heat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I blame everything on the heat.
Yeah,
It works when you live in Phoenix.
Here in Arizona, just blame the heat.
Everything's
It works. Okay.
So Maricopa County Republican Committee passed a resolution on Saturday. In the state of Arizona, we are allowed to hold our own presidential preference election. And so we decided to pass a resolution declaring why we wanted to hold our own presidential preference election, outlining all of the issues that we've experienced as Republicans in our elections for the last at least 2 federal election cycles. And we have called upon our state chairman, Jeff DeWitt, to withdraw us from the government ran election and to allow the Republicans to take back the election, run it by the people, for the people, one day, one vote, paper ballots, hand count at the precinct level. And so since we have passed that resolution, Jeff DeWitt today issued a letter to the Arizona Executive Committee, which I'm a part of as well, being part of the county leadership, asking us to give a date and time we would be available so that the state can vote on that. So if you're listening to the show and you're interested in this and you want to learn more, go to maricopagop.com. If you are in support of the resolution, please notify Chairman DeWitt at chairman@azgop.com as soon as possible and let him know that you are a yes vote for the resolution.
I think that's a good idea. Go ahead, Alice.
Well, I was just gonna ask you a question. So help me to understand this. The Republicans then, the state party of Arizona, GOP, would actually be in charge of the election. How does the Secretary of State work into this? You know, what are kind of the mechanics of how it works?
Sure.
Or would work?
That's the beauty of this, is the Secretary of State wouldn't play a role at all. According to statute, if Jeff DeWitt declares by 5 p.m. on Friday, September 1st, that the Republican Party wants to withdraw from government ran election, then the state party would set the terms, the methods, the means by which we would select and elect our presidential nominee. And the county wouldn't have a say, the state wouldn't have a say. There would be no canvassing. Nobody would have to sign off on it. It would be developed by we, the precinct committeemen, and operated by we, the precinct committeemen. And so this is a way to show the nation that a hand count can be done, and a way to show that we as Republicans do care about election integrity, and we care enough that we're willing to take the burden of actually running that election onto ourselves to show it can be done.
Is this the first time a state has done this, or has it been done before?
No, it's not the first time. So just to be clear, this is for the presidential preference election,
Right,
which is a party-only election. It's not open to
but it's
Democrats or independents.
but it's
or the general
nationwide.
public.
I mean, the preferential election.
Each state has their own
Oh.
presidential preference election.
Okay.
And so we're asking for Jeff DeWitt, who is the chairman of the state of Arizona GOP, to pull that back from being government run and let the party run its own presidential preference election. And something I just wanted to bring up, for the 2020 election, Kelly Ward pulled our presidential preference election back from the state. And instead of doing a GOP ran election for the presidential preference, we just decided to nominate someone for, Trump for the presidential preference for the state of Arizona. And foregoed any kind of election on the part of the Republican Party. So it's not like this type of thing hasn't been done before here in the state of Arizona. She took it a step further, and and I'm not criticizing her for that, because what other real choices did we have, right? So again, even now, Trump is 50 points ahead of the next highest
Contender.
popular contender, and it's by leaps and I think the spread between him and the next most popular candidate is greater than all of the other candidates' points put together
Right, I
at
saw
this
that.
point.
Yeah.
So
So the
my
party,
opinion, and they may disagree with me. My opinion is that we may be in a situation where it might be advantageous to do something similar to what was done in 2020. But this is the first step. What Craig Berland and Shelby Busch did is the first step going towards wherever this is going to
and
lead.
Craig is the chairman of the
Yes, he
county,
is the chairman of Maricopa County.
and you're the first vice chair. So you guys, there's a chairman.
That's
and vice
correct.
chair. Okay.
But I do want to add, I mean, yes, Chairman Berlin and myself drafted this resolution.
I
and
read it, yeah.
We presented the resolution, but it also took an additional 19 chairs to stand behind us in passing this resolution.
Yeah, I saw that the other
So-
chairs all signed behind the resolution.
Yes, many of them did. We did have some that weren't for this. And you always have that. That's civil discourse. That's what
Right.
happens. And we have reclaimed our presidential preference before, but we have never actually ran it this way. Other states have done similar things, but they didn't do it in this fashion. They didn't run an election, they caucused. So that's an option too. But we have the right to reclaim it. And as I think the point Steve's trying to make, we need to show the world this can be done. If we're going to push hand counts, we need to prove we can do hand counts. And that's why we want to do this. But ultimately, we as a party, we pick who our presidential nominee is, no one else.
Now, this wouldn't go through Richards and the recorder's office. This would go through the PCs and the districts. How do you do that?
Yes,
Because I work for the Maricopa County Recorder's Office. So we have the ballot and the tabulators and all that on preference elections too.
Mhm.
This would be paper ballot, not going through the tabulators, correct? Or will it be going to the?
It would be what the body decides to do. We as a
Right.
body would decide how to conduct this election,
Okay.
but it would have absolutely nothing to do with the recorder's office
or tabulators.
or tabulators.
I hate those
It would be,
tabulators.
we would literally take the entire process away from the state and the counties
Oh, okay.
and conduct it ourselves as a party.
And you
So-
said ballot count, they're gonna count.
Hand counted the ballots. And since you've worked for the elections department,
Oh, yeah.
then I just take that as you just stepped up to volunteer to help in this.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
So when the state votes,
Yeah,
this
because I'm what they call a troubleshooter. So everybody knows. I run maybe 5 different precincts or ballot precincts where I go one to one, making sure that everything is under that
Just-
everything is all the T's are crossed, and any problem I'm supposed to solve it. But
George,
George, you have a lot of experience to
this
offer.
would be different. So
okay, you said you're a
A
troubleshooter, not a troublemaker, right?
oh, I've
No, that's all. That's a given. Troublemaker.
no, I've been doing it for
Hey, guys. So I wanted to ask you, so is it easier, like for me in my head, I think about it when we go to the state as PC or delegates and we're voting for our leadership, we're handling it. Nobody else is, the government is not involved. Like you say, you could choose a caucus and have representatives vote and get them in that way. And it's strictly separate. I think this is really exciting and very bold of you guys to do. But I want to ask you, so just for the benefit of people that, I lived in Arizona so long, but I have got my New Mexico friends listening as well. We have 30 districts in Arizona, 30 legislative districts. And you said 19 of those district chairmen voted for this, right?
No, this was
that what
only
you said?
a Maricopa County only.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
County.
we were
I'm
talking
sorry.
about the districts within Maricopa County.
So that means Pinal
So this is
County
just the county.
might be different or?
No, the way the rules work is you have to decide as a state. And the only one that can make final authority decision is our state chairman.
Jeff DeWitt.
So we're either in or we're out.
Right.
The resolution was passed by Maricopa County. And that request was to have Chairman DeWitt make the withdrawal by Friday, which is the statutory deadline to do this. So it would be consistent.
Now I got it.
Whatever we decide to do would be absolutely statewide. We as a county can't make that decision. All we can do is represent the people who elected us into this position. And overwhelmingly, people do not trust our election system.
Right.
The reality is ABC News did polling, and this is bipartisan polling, and only 20% overall of Americans had any kind of confidence that our elections were very well
Wow.
ran, and only 13% of Republicans. So this is an opportunity to dispel all of the rumors. I mean, we're getting them now. The Uniparty is coming after us hard, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
every kind of propaganda they're putting out. They said, oh, it'll cost $8 million. And I said, well, even in Biden economics, I can't see it costing $8 million unless we hire the IRS to do it. Then I can see it.
Yeah.
Right.
well, yeah.
Uh,
Hire the
but-
government, they'll find a way to milk it for all it's worth, right? I think the cost is now up to, according to the propaganda, 13 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if, let's say Maricopa County, DeWitt would have to vote for the whole state of Arizona. So would it have to go to another vote to the other counties that represent?
It would be the state the representatives from each county.
He would have to
would
have
vote.
a econ meeting then.
Which
Yeah.
we are. Yes.
And that's
Because you guys are
technically, I think it's up to him. I don't remember, but I think as the state chairman, he does have the authority to just make that decision.
Yes.
But he can also
Okay.
decide to take it to the body and let the representatives vote on it.
What do you
So
think he'll
Chairman-
do? What's your inkling? What do you
Well-
think he's going to do?
He already did. So Chairman DeWitt, I'm part of the state executive committee because of my leadership role in the county. And so he issued an email today and he's calling upon the entire XCOM, not just the XCOM, but the members at large and the state leadership as a whole. He's called for a convention, like for us to convene at state party headquarters prior to Friday. And he's going to turn it to an executive vote. So the executive guidance committee for the state party will be having that vote and it's going to come down to it. So again, if you support this action and you live in the state of Arizona, anywhere in the state of Arizona, contact the leadership of your county, contact the members at large in your congressional district and let them know that you are a yes vote for this resolution so we can,
So
get
your-
that through.
But your
XCOM.
vote is, when you say aye, you represent the 19 district chairman, or do you represent the whole county when you say aye, which is what, 20 something chairman?
Right. So we would represent, Craig and I are both part of the executive committee of the
Right.
state. And so as the chairman and the vice chairman, we would be representing all 3,000 PCs in Maricopa County.
Which is,
Steve, as a legislative district chairman, if Chairman DeWitt decides to extend that to the district chairman, and at this point, I'm not sure, he has in the past, then he would represent all of the Republican constituents in the legislative
LD
district.
22, right, okay. Because I'm in your
Yep.
LD, so, okay, well, that's interesting.
Wow.
We'll find out September the 1st.
We will find out. He has until 5 p.m. on Friday, September 1st. Oftentimes we listen, these elected officials, including our state chairman, who runs on a campaign promise,
Right.
and then the opportunity to actually make a stand comes up and they stand in the way. So it'll be interesting to see what Chairman DeWitt decides to do. His number one of his 7-point plan was fighting for election integrity. And this is really an opportunity to not just lead Arizona, but to lead the entire nation.
Yeah, because he's a very powerful chairman. Okay.
I want to ask one last question. Shelby and Steve, what is your prediction? What's going to happen? It's going to pass? Sorry
That
to put
is
you on the
really
spot.
tough. I'm actually very divided on that because I'm not sure which way it's going to go. One of the biggest key factors, and it's multifaceted, is the propaganda and misinformation about this subject are extremely pervasive. And so a lot of people are just listening to the propaganda and not actually looking for themselves or looking to hear what the truth is. And it's very divisive and destructive towards the goals that I think we should all have as a Republican Party, when people within the party have an agenda and they want to avoid certain agendas. You know, they want to avoid things that are going to move us in the right direction because they want things to move in a prescribed direction. And so it's difficult to get past that, but that's the biggest reason why I'm not sure which way this is going to go. I feel strongly that it could pass, but again, like I said, DeWitt ultimately does have the authority to either make a decision on his own, let the body vote on it, or even if the body votes on it, maybe he decides that he doesn't care and he just doesn't want to do it. I don't know.
It'll have a moment of discussion, right? And that usually goes a long time.
Yeah.
So I was elected overwhelmingly by the county, and I was elected on the fact that I fight for election integrity. Maricopa County is 100% America first control. This will be a testament, in my opinion, as to where the heartbeat of our state party is in leadership. Are we leaning uniparty or are we leaning America first? Because right now the America First movement is about election integrity. So I'm excited to find out how this is going to go. I'm coming with ammunition. We've been on the phone with leadership all across the state that's willing to help us fundraise.
And country.
All over the country is what I should have said. They're willing to help us fundraise. They're willing to help us promote this. They're willing to bring in county recorders and leaders from across the country to help us implement a plan. So I plan to go prepared into this meeting to debate well, and God willing, it'll pass.
Well, I want to salute you guys. I think that's bold, and I miss my Arizona. I've been here in New Mexico a year now, and things are run a little differently here. So good luck with everything.
Did you want to go ahead and talk about the New Mexico filing real quick?
Yeah, you guys would be interested in this. And so, I'm still learning all the politics here. I'm such a novice. But we are today, August 29th, is a day in Las Cruces, and it's for filing of local candidates. We're going to have a city council race, a mayoral race here in Las Cruces, as well as some school board. We have the whole Las Cruces. It's Las Cruces Public School District, and we've got 3 positions open there as well.
And they
so
have
first off,
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to steal your thunder. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, what intrigues me is today is the only day that these candidates can file. I called the city and I said, well, so what if I decide I want to run, August 30th, or can I file before? No, one day. You have to be at the county clerk's office here. That's the same thing as a recorder in Arizona, Maricopa recorder. And you have to file that day. Otherwise, you're out of luck.
Well, I'm kind of glad I'm in Phoenix.
I'm sorry?
I'm glad I'm in Phoenix. I'm glad I'm in
and I'm going to make you even happier, because for the city council and the mayoral race, we have the wonderful ranked choice voting. So I'm not happy. I'm not going to be happy about voting that way. At least the school districts are not that way. And then if you don't mind, what I'd like to do is just take a minute and give you, hopefully I can bring this up on my computer. I want to let you know that my good friend, these are Republicans, okay? And that's another thing. We are outnumbered. If you kind of think of South Phoenix, where I lived, and how outnumbered we were as far as Democrats versus Republicans, that's how we kind of are down here in Doña Ana County, the Las Cruces area. But we do have a lot of, what are you laughing about, George?
My ink pen, I was like clicking it and it was coming out.
I was wondering what was happening.
They were telling me to stop.
Stop clicking. You can't clicking.
The bad
But
habit.
what happens, we do have a lot of Democrats, but we do have a lot of conservative Democrats. As I reconnect with my friends, it's just amazing. It's a whole different world. You guys got to come visit. You got to come.
So let
anyway,
me ask you a
so I
question,
wanna give-
Alice. Can I ask
Yes.
you a question? I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry. So
No,
what
go
you're
ahead.
telling me is you get 1 day to decide whether to represent your community, but you get 30 days to vote for that person. How does that make sense? Is that,
Oh,
that
okay,
doesn't
yeah,
seem
you-
to reconcile to me.
So
right?
that's the thing too. You just filed today, August 29th. The election's in November, and I believe the early voting starts like 30 days before. So that really doesn't give you a whole lot of campaign time, right? It really doesn't. So these candidates, I mean, right now our city council, they're all women and they're all left. And the mayor is reasonable right now. He's been in there for a long time and he's not running again. But I want to give a shout out to Lorenzo Madrid. He's running for city council. He's a strong conservative Republican. So we're hoping for the best for him. Please, you guys, I know you can't vote for him, but you guys can pray for him. And then also my good friend, Julia Reese. And Julia is fantastic. She's running for the school board in my district. So I'm going to do everything to help her win because, we could do a whole show about our school board. Woo! That's a whole other thing. And also Ronnie Cisneros is running also for our school district as well. And if I can bring up, gosh darn it, I can't bring up the name on that. I had it all set up and then I don't have it. But I just want to give them shout outs. If you watch my page, I'll be promoting them and talking about them as well. And then one more quick thing, as long as we're on the New Mexico thing, we have a referendum process here. Are you guys familiar with that as well? Probably not. I had to learn it. So here in New Mexico, the last election, again, we are so outrun by the Democrats here. They passed quite a few laws, about 6 laws that were very bad, including transgender and abortion. Right now, I don't know if you guys know this, Shelby and Steve, but here in New Mexico, you can have an abortion up to birth. That's how it is, okay? And there's other laws that have passed this last year. I'll just give you a perfect example. Let's say I got a 12-year-old kid and decides that, you know what, I'm a girl, but I think I'm a boy. So I'm going to go to the nurse's office and let them know that. Well, the nurse, the teacher, whoever they talk to in school must help that kid and doesn't have to tell the parents. Parental consent laws there. And a 14-year-old, that's another show. But basically, I just want to tell you, so our referendum process, right now, these laws, they were passed, so they're in operation. So right now, we are collecting signatures from any registered voter. It doesn't matter what party, as long as they're registered in the state of New Mexico. And I'm collecting down here in Doña Ana County. If we collect enough, then what this is going to do is put these bad laws, I'm just going to call them bad laws, and put them on the ballot in 2024. So our whole state of New Mexico can vote on keeping them or getting rid of them. So again, pray for us. I'll keep you posted as things progress. But see, I make you feel really good about living in Arizona, don't I?
I think I'm gonna stay there. So what about Trump's mugshot? What do you think?
Oh, it's perfect.
Shelby, take the pen away from him.
Thank
you.
Just a click.
It's a bad habit. All
right, Trump's
thank you,
mugshot.
thank you. I don't even realize I'm doing it. Oh my God.
He
Thank
gets so
you.
excited about Trump, he can't help himself.
But yeah, that mugshot, I love that. I put it on my Facebook page and everything. So
I think they're calling it the Mona Lisa of mugshots, right?
It's very iconic. And I think when they say a picture tells a thousand words, I think that one tells a lot more.
He thought about it when he did it, and he thought about what image he could portray, because he hated the mugshot. He said, he hated the idea of having to take a mugshot. Everybody knows what he looks like, so it didn't have to be a mugshot. But with the way he did it, he sell T-shirts, and I mean, it shows that he's not happy.
Yeah.
Let's just say, George, let's just say it. That was a badass mugshot, right?
Yeah. I'm
It really was.
Try to get a T-shirt with that.
And
that
you
is
see
one
it everywhere.
Pissed off, powerful man that is leading the country in the polls right now.
Yeah.
So,
And it's ridiculous. It's a persecution after him.
Yeah.
Because it's a political race. They could have done this 2 years ago, a year ago, but they waited until right now, election. it's election interfering.
Yes.
And people see it, and it's like, we're not dumb. Even the Democrats aren't that dumb, but they're happy because they're persecuting Donald Trump. And it's
That's why Katie Hobbs is trying to try him in Arizona too. They
she wants to
bring up charges on him.
What's the latest on that, guys? I saw that.
Well, Chris Mays said that she was going to investigate it. It was under investigation, that it was easy to expect that indictments might come, but that she wasn't going to make any indictments unless she knew she could win. So, I mean, look, they're going to come after him. When a trial court sets trial for the day before Super Tuesday on a president, I mean, come on, people, wake up, America. If you don't see this for what it is, then we're in more trouble than I think. But I happen to believe the American people are smarter than this. And it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Political targeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I could see her doing it because the prosecutor in Georgia mentioned Arizona as one of the states that
They're scared of Trump.
Yeah.
The uniparty, the deep state, the Democrats, a good chunk of the Republican Party are scared of Trump, because I think after what he went through during his first presidency, I think he's done with it. And I'll try not to cuss or say anything bad, but he's fed up with the bull crap, and now he can see through it. He's a little wiser. He's battle hardened. And now if he gets back into that seat, he knows exactly who the enemy is.
And I think maybe he thought the first time that he could change the minds of the Democrats and say, you know what, this is he's trying to do good, but they fought him at every level. They indicted him twice. And now this is the
Fourth indictment.
Fourth, and then you count the other indictments.
And if Arizona jumps on board, that'll be the fifth.
Yeah. And that is so it's so messed up, to me, the parties should give each other an even break. And they argue their point and let the people decide who they want as president. This is ridiculous. Even Bernie Sanders chimed in and said that what they're doing is wrong. So he was talking about Biden too, and it said Biden shouldn't run for president. And Bernie Sanders is old. He's old too, but he was talking about how that Biden might not be the nominee near the end.
Yeah,
and Kamala would be a bad choice to put in her place, to put in his now I guess Newsom is running with wants to do a debate with DeSantis, and that's all maneuvering himself.
They're trying to elevate DeSantis. Even the Democrat Party wants to elevate DeSantis. They want anything except Trump, anybody but Trump.
Yeah, they said he had gotten up to 21% in the polls, and it was his poll, his organization.
Of course.
Yeah.
Pack it up, DeSantis. Nobody is beating President
What's
Donald
funny
J.
is
Trump.
Even with their own poll that they paid for and that they stacked it, they still could only come up to 21%.
Yeah.
That's still pathetic. That's still pathetic.
That's their poll, and they only came up 21%.
Yeah.
I would have said 36 or something. I mean, you kind of, if you're gonna lie, I mean, you might as well do a good lie. Biden does it pretty good.
Yeah, I could see that boardroom meeting. Sir, the polls are only showing 11%. Oh, crap. Double it.
Double it.
Well, it's only 21, 22%. Man, this is the best we can do. No one's going to believe any more than that, though. So run with it.
You said very like,
Now you're pushing it.
In Arizona, because there is a segment of our party, and I remember they're still talking about, well, there's just no way Trump can win. We got to back DeSantis. And a lot of the argument that I was saying, Trump has been through everything. Like you were saying earlier, Steve, he's already been attacked. He's been through it all. And I say, are they not? Do you think they're not going to go after DeSantis if he were to be the nominee? What I want to ask you is, they're in Arizona, has that shifted, or do you think there are more Trump supporters than there were before? Are the people that were backing DeSantis, are they still unchanged?
Every meeting
Or
I
what's
go
your
to, you
gauge?
have the majority of people still back Trump.
But when you
and
say
that's
majority,
that's Republican meetings, but
Yeah, Republican.
when I
meetings.
go home, I live in an area that's over 60% Hispanic, and a very high percentage of them don't even speak very good English. All wonderful people, all of our neighbors that we live around, great people. We love them. We're good friends with all of them, but a lot of them, their perception of American politics and their perception of Donald Trump is changing, and you can see it. The last
Ándale.
time in 2020, we saw gangbangers in our neighborhood driving up and down the streets with Trump flags on their cars.
Yes, we do.
Now I have people that are illegals or have illegals in their family telling me, you know what? Maybe Trump is racist. I don't know, but at least the economy's better. At least we make more money. At least the country is better when he's in office, because they're bombarded by the leftist talking points. They only get Telemundo and a couple channels, and it's constant propaganda, but they're even seeing through that, and they're saying, okay, maybe they're right. Maybe he's racist,
Yes.
which I know he's not racist. I
He's
know
not
that for a
racist,
fact, but nevertheless, they're seeing through that, and they're saying, look, even if he is racist, he tried to expand DACA, and the economy's better. We pay less for gas. We get more in our paychecks.
I can
Life
get
was
Pampers
better.
for my babies.
Yeah,
You know?
life was better under Trump.
And
they're
even,
getting it. And you know
Yeah.
what else too? I've been seeing more and more, they keep popping up. There are a lot of young Black men, I'll call them reactors. And you see how
Yeah.
they react like to the music from my 70s, and they're rediscovering it.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I see them, they're reacting to politics. And
exactly.
there's one guy, and I wish I could think of his name, but he was playing a video, and it was things that he was finding out about the Democrat Party. So he stopped the tape, right? He's the video, I should say. He stopped the video. That shows you how old I am. Stop the tape. Stop the video, and he'd look on his phone, and he'd be like, "Is that true? The Ku Klux Klan, the Democrat Party?" I mean, it was awesome. So as you say, Steve, they're waking up. I don't like to use the term woke, but they're waking up, and it's very encouraging. Woohoo!
And the
I would
thing
just,
is, even the Libertarian Party is realizing that Trump's doing good. You know, they have to unite. And the Libertarian Party, a lot of them believe in the Republican Party. It's just that they call themselves libertarian, and independence is what's going to swing this Trump's way, because a lot of independents are sick and tired of what's going on, and we can see it. We can see it in the streets. Like you said, African Americans, I see it all the time, and it's and Asians, the Asian population out here is doing the same thing. How about the
George,
storm?
can I also go ahead? I'm sorry. You go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just don't want to it's a little bit on this topic, but I want to give a shout out also to an organization that I belong to here. And they just recently started one in Albuquerque. It's the CCIA. It's the Coalition of Conservatives in Action. And we have become, we're growing. And the cool thing about it is, this is not affiliated with the Republican Party. Most of us are Republicans within that organization, but we have independents, like you say. There's a lot of independents that are our members, also libertarians, and there are even some Democrats because they're pro-life, because they know that a conservative thought is a way to go because of the bad laws in New Mexico and things like that. And it's just a good way to unify. And we are having quite a bit of success because we go down to the city councils, we go down to the county meetings, and give a voice to people, because a lot of people they're kind of afraid of the Republican Party, I think. And I want to just give a shout out to it's CCIA. If you live in the Las Cruces area or down here, even if you live in El Paso, Texas, we're 45 minutes away. We meet every Thursday at Kitchen Craft at 6 p.m. We're over here right by Rudy's Barbecue on Tell Shore. This is a small enough town that you know where that is. But Juan Garcia is our leader, and he's doing a great job. So thank you for letting me take a minute.
Yeah. When I go out there, I want to attend one of those meetings.
Oh yeah, you'd love it. You'd love
I
it.
want to do just let people know that we're going to be praying for the people in Florida. They have a big hurricane headed their way. It's at Cat 2 now, so it's going to hit. My granddaughter lives in Key West, so I think she's going to be spared a brunt of it. But she's in the Coast Guard over there, and they're going to be very busy. So all our prayers to them and anybody on the East Coast, because it's going to go right through Florida and into the East Coast. Labor Day is this September the 1st. So I wish everybody a safe Labor Day and a good turnout for this meeting that they're going to have. Also, I want to do a shout out for our Laughs for Hope. Alice, you want to say a couple of words for that real quick?
Yes, absolutely. We were going to try to have Mary or Sheila on with us today so they could give us a little bit more details, but things happen. They're getting really busy. They're busy and getting ready for this. This is their annual fundraiser. Those of you who follow the Chips and Salsa show for a while, you'll know that in the last few years, they've been great. We've been sponsors, and you can still get tickets. It's going to be Friday, September 1st. And what this is Life Choices Women's Clinic. And what they do, if this is your first time hearing about them, they have a mobile van. They help women that are, try to give them all the information about abortion. And not only, a lot of they are so successful because they offer free sonograms. And not only do they help them before and during pregnancy and before the birth, but afterwards they continue to help them financially and get jobs. It's just a fantastic organization. So this event, what they do is they bring in comedians, and they are clean. Okay, so you can take the whole family, to this show. And let me tell you, the comedians are, I think I have them here.
And the location?
Yeah, so the comedians are going to be Johnny and, I had the poster, David, Johnny, and Brian. I'm sorry I don't have their last names. Oh, here it is. David Farrell, Johnny W., and Brian Kohatsu. And the location is, George, you have the location here? Oh, here it is. It's the Virginia G. Piper Performing Arts Center, and that's at Xavier College Preparatory. The address is 4710 North 5th Street in Phoenix. So let me just say that again. It's Virginia G. Piper Performing Arts Center at Xavier College Prep. It's a great location. 4710 North 5th Street. You can still get tickets. And listen, if you can't make it Friday, if you can't go there, and please go there. George is going to be there with Eric.
We're going to do a podcast from there. Also, the tickets are
send them a few bucks.
The tickets are $10 to $30. So I guess for some reason there's different seating arrangements.
You can just sit with George.
We got a $10 one. No, we got to sign off. So all chipsters, watch your pets in the car. Don't leave them alone in the cars. Watch your children around the pool. It's very dangerous now. It's very hot. They congregate around the pool, and always be safe about that. And don't leave kids or pets unattended in cars. So chipsters, we'll be back next Tuesday. Tune in. We come on in the evening because we record it, and then it's put on YouTube and Facebook, and to all the other channels that we have.
Thank you, Steve and Shelby.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks for having us.
Thank you guys for attending. Sorry about the name mix up in the beginning. I don't know what got over me. Shelby Busch and Steve Robertson and Alice from New Mexico. Robinson. Isn't that what I said? Robinson. Okay, anyway, Zeke, we miss you, Zeke, and we hope to see you next week when you get there.
Yeah.
I hope you're okay. So
we'll be back. You must have had something really important.
Shippers, thank you for listening, and we're signing off.
Bye, Alice.
Walk on.
Bye.
Love you.